Well, I guess we're back, but our main host, Roland, is not here today. We don't know what happened to him, but he's running late, and he may step in at any time. So if you see someone coming on stage, that'll be our main host, and we'll be okay with that. Should have told you that to begin with. I guess, there's so many interesting things about what you're doing, and I'm not sure if anybody here can figure out how all of this fits together and you're able to handle it and put it together and make it work. I mean, that's a phenomenal thing.
I have no life.
Does this come? No. Does this come from being a school teacher for 43 years how do you? I know that's a tough job.
I lose more Mopar friends because of it, because they say I'm bossy. But you know how you're used to directing kids, go do this, go do that. But we had a board in Carolina, but we have been able to form, we lost some, but we still kept about 3. And we've been able to reach out to a lot of the people here that have reached out to us and have been helping us, and like Mike Clifford. Yep. And that was here the last time I was in the audience. And we've formed a new and better board, but rather than being one club or anything like that like we were before, we have someone from Direct Connection. We have 2 from the Jacksonville Mopar Club. There's us. And we've chosen people in Orlando that are in the Mopar community that we know and have met and vetted.
Okay. Well,
and so we're ready for each person to take over some big part of it next year so that it's not all on me doing it.
Yeah. Well, I know you're connected to a lot of Mopar clubs, so that means your internet and your connections has to be large. How many people do you connect with? On the internet.
Okay, on our Facebook page, we have almost 6,000 followers. But because, like, Tommy and I are in, he's probably 200 or 300 Mopar clubs in the country, Facebook group Mopar clubs. And I'm kind of like that. I've joined as many as I can. And by posting, it's telling us on our page that we're reaching somewhere around 175 million. So I'm hoping that we'll pick up even more, because one of our new board members has posted his new, it's his Hellcat, but he's done a new different theme to it, and it's totally airbrushed the whole car, and he hit over 1 million views.
Wow.
A couple of weeks ago, and I've told him, I said, you got to start tagging Mopars at the beach in this, buddy.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that we'll, can get a bigger audience.
We'll get him I'll go with you. I'll hold him and you hit him until he tags it, okay?
Okay.
All right, good. That's phenomenal.
Right.
175 million?
But that's because,
it's
we
worldwide.
post it, and then people share it, and then they post. And then to build up a lot, like we have people that come to our show. Like we've got a couple coming from Missouri. They came year before last, and they're coming back. But we met them at Mopars in Branson when we were up for a show. And we've been to all the big shows, Carlisle, Wham in Texas, and met Mopar family.
So is it true that you actually had a guy fly in from Germany here recently as a Mopar guy?
For last year's show, he registered, he flew from Germany, went to Pennsylvania, picked up his car, and I think he was working over there, but he flew, picked up his car, drove it down to the show at Myrtle, and then drove back and then flew back to Germany. And
that's a loyal person right there.
That was our greatest distance, because we thought our greatest distance was going to be the guy from Washington State who drove. He left a couple of weeks early, and he had a B5 Blue Challenger, petty blue kind of, and he had a little teardrop camper made to match his car. He left a couple of weeks early, and he was calling me off and on all the time, and then he was like, find me a campground there in Myrtle. So he had his place to stay and camp out there, and then I've heard he's coming back, but I just don't know. He hasn't pre-registered yet.
Yeah. Well, I've been to cruising the coast in Biloxi 15 years in a row, something similar to what you're doing. The first year we were there, they had about 2,000 people, and I thought, wow, this is big. Last year they had 10,000. It grew that much, and it just keeps adding on. And it's not just the registered people, it's all the people who come to be at the show, and they drive in from Myrtle Beach or they drive in from Atlanta to be a part of the show, and it just crowds the neighborhood. So you end up getting not 400 or 500, you're getting the 4,000 or 5,000 that are here. So we're going to have a great time in October seeing all these Mopars traveling around, and they're going to be good. They're going to be shiny. They're going to be mean. They're going to be some high performance. They're going to be jacked up. They're going to be loud. They're going to be fun, and you get to see what you want. So that's a wonderful deal.
And that's one of the things too. The marketing director from DaytonaBeach.com reached out to me, and they're totally behind us. And when I showed them all, oh yes, because they give money for advertising all over the country, or to be used for radio or TV or any way we want to use it. If we can show them this year of the audience that we bring in that are booking the hotel rooms and going to the restaurants and everything, that we're bringing in a crowd.
Oh, that's wonderful. Just sort of moving along. On your race day, you're going to do that at Orlando Speedway. Is that right? And it's only open to
Mopar only.
But it's open to anybody who wants to go see it.
Up to a certain number of spectators because of their insurance. Yeah. They said that their premiums went up once you had so many spectators there. But we can handle as many cars. It's an 8-hour day. And there's going to be, I don't know that much about drag racing. This is our first year to go to the drag strip because we always ran charity laps at Darlington Speedway. And I couldn't get Daytona this year because they were already booked for the weekend that we had chosen. But they tell me that there's going to be, Mike's handling this. And they're telling me that there'll be a purse for $1,500 because he arranged 2 sponsors, and we need more sponsors because we don't make anything off this event. This is what Orlando Speed World is charging us, but they greatly reduced their price for us. But we'll make money from our charities for our T-shirt sales and raffle tickets and stuff like that. But they say that it's an 8-hour rental. There'll be $1,500 for the first place and $500 for the runner-up as of right now.
Well, I'm going to be there.
Good.
I guarantee you some of these guys out here are going to be there. We don't want to miss that. And if it's an all Mopar, I think we're pretty well spread out between Chevrolet, Ford, and Mopar in the room here. But when you get to the drag strip, guys love those Hemis. They love those 440s. They love making that noise. And I've owned some of those cars too. So it's all going to be fun. So
now, Tommy has a Hellcat that's 912 at the rear with a 426 stroker put in it, but he's not allowed to get on the drag strip with it. I've told him no.
Tommy's got a Hellcat. Wow. You didn't tell us that story.
Yeah, he's had the engine swapped out. It's got a 426 stroker in it. It's 912 at the rear. So it's wild, too.
Yeah, oh, boy. So it's stroked. You saying it was a 426 and it's been stroked? Is that the deal? So what's the cubic inches now?
No, it was the original Hellcat with the 700.
Oh, so you took it to 426.
It was rebuilt from the block up.
Okay. That's good. Well, Hellcat's a hell of a car to begin with, isn't
right.
it? Yeah.
He has the Hellcat engine in the TRX truck he's got also.
Yeah. Well, what color is it?
What
the Hellcat?
It's Go Man Go.
Okay.
Orange.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Go Man Go orange.
Well, are we going to see it here?
You'll see it at the show or out at the events. Yeah. And then I have the mine's a 2012, but it was a special edition yellow jacket, and so I'm the queen bee. That's my theme.
I think you are. So that's good.
That's BEE now.
Yeah, I got you. I know exactly what you're saying. Well,
I've been called the other.
well, I think everybody in the audience, myself included, we all got to look at this and say, wow, this is coming to Daytona. It's ours. Let's go out and support it. Let's have fun with it. I don't know what I'm going to do for that week. I probably won't go to your meet and greet, but I'll be at everything.
You don't want to go see those girls at Twin Peaks? I think I will. Saw that hand go up.
Well,
and the girls will be at the show too.
Oh,
they're bringing them out Saturday to the show.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, that's the name of the game, right? It's a show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. If you were not knowing what you already know, but if you're a Mopar person, Tommy's a Mopar. If you were coming here, what would be the favorite event?
I love the show, but I also like the light show because it's nighttime and all the special lighting that people have put on their cars, and it's phenomenal how.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's take a break, and we'll come back to that.
Okay.
The caution flag is out. Time for a break. We'll be right back with the Legends of Racing radio show. Racing's original North Turn is our broadcast headquarters. If you're looking for a good drink, great entertainment, and the best in food, they're right on the beach at Racing's Original North Turn. Come on down to dinner tonight. Here are a couple of testimonials. These are actual testimonials from people who have enjoyed the North Turn. Been there many times, always great food and drinks, great location on the beach. And another, what a great experience. It's my new favorite restaurant in the Daytona Beach area. Racing's Original North Turn on South Atlantic Avenue. That's A1A in Ponce Inlet, about 3.2 miles south of the Dunlawton Bridge and A1A intersection. It's Racing's Original North Turn, a restaurant, museum, bar, gift shop, live music. That's Racing's North Turn. Racing's Original North Turn has been voted by you Best Beach Bar Top 10 year after year after year. We're back from where it all began. Racing's Original North Turn Beach Bar and Grill. The Legends of Racing radio show continues with your host Buzz McKim and co-host Rich Combs.
Okay, we're back. We've got a guest from the audience who would like to ask you a couple of questions. It's Mike Boland.
Hey, Mike.
So much for being here. We appreciate you taking your time to
I'm
get
glad
up
to
here.
be here. Anything to promote.
Right. And always we thank the Legends of Racing for hosting this for us all.
Right.
But as a soldier to a soldier, I got to salute a hero. And to him, I salute him.
He's talking
Yes,
to you,
sir.
Tommy.
Tommy.
He's kind of hard hearing right now. He lost
That's
his
all
hearing
right.
aids when we moved here to Florida in January. We're working on that.
Well, Cathy, you're doing a wonderful job there. And this couple here that are friends of yours from I've seen her on YouTube or I've seen her on Facebook. I'm not real sure. But I do recognize her now. When you introduced her, I did not. But I wanted to ask you, you don't donate so much to charity and to so many wonderful causes in my heart. It takes money to do that and to people to contribute. So are you full of all the trophies that you need sponsored? Do you have all the vendors that you need? Is there sponsorships that you still can accept to help make this one of your best shows that bypasses Myrtle Beach?
I'm glad you asked me that because we need everything you named. it's been like trying to start all over again with the move here, because I had been able to build the connections locally around Myrtle, and people knew us, and you know, I could get the same sponsors every year, but like Joey's been with me forever here. But I don't know that many people, and I don't have the connections with who has the automotive businesses or anything like that. But we still have many trophies that have not been sponsored. So we have levels of sponsorship where, like, best truck or best Jeep, best PT Cruiser or something like that starts at $100. And I still need the Best in Show Classic and the Classic trophies covered, and several of the others. But we need sponsors for trophies. And a lot of that money that we make to give to charity doesn't come from the registrations, because we have to rent the venues and things like that. And the money doesn't come from the registrations and the trophy sponsorships, but we sell a ton of raffle tickets and at $1 each. And I try to get restaurants locally, or with Myrtle, it was all the shows and everything, but here, any kind of business that would be like the North Turn restaurant here, if they would give us a couple of gift cards for our raffles, that would be phenomenal. And we sell our raffle tickets all week, and they're good all week through the show on Saturday. So I need donations for gift certificates and cards. I need silent auctions. You were talking about Richard Petty. Petty's team came to the show last year, and they brought us a catback exhaust system for one of our silent auctions. I need things like that, because I don't have the connections here to know who to go to. So if anybody can direct me to someone to go talk to, or if you can just tell them to hit me up, call me, email me, send it on our Facebook page, anything to help us get those things. So trophy sponsors, donations of any kind, and I'm the person, and I always say I take anything. I don't care what it is. Home Depot in Myrtle, North Myrtle, always gave me a propane grill that we put up for a silent auction. So I'll take anything.
That's wonderful that that's happening. But I haven't heard you say, what's your webpage that they can contact you, or what is your phone number that they can contact you? Because the gentleman sitting to your left has a large presence in the car world here. His friend here has a large presence in the bow tie world. And we want to make this better than Myrtle. This is our reputation here.
That's my goal.
Yes, sir. Better than Myrtle. That's maybe their goal. Yeah.
I tell everybody that with Ed up at Carlisle, I've emailed, I've never actually met him, but I've emailed him a lot and talked to him on the phone, and I'm like, you know, Ed, I'm going to be as big as Carlisle someday. And we just laugh. He knows that's not going to happen. But we are the biggest, if one of the biggest, if not the biggest, all Mopar show in the Southeast.
Yeah.
I know we're bigger than, like, the ones in Alabama, and Mopar's in Branson, even though that's a little further up. And I don't think I'll top Wham for a while, but that's more centrally located. He's got the advantage on me there. But, you know, we're growing, and we're going to grow as big as I can get this, or with all the help that we can get this thing to be. But I'm losing my train of thought here.
Okay.
You got to help me out.
Well, you know, I heard you.
Website. I got you.
Website.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, the website is moparsatthebeach.org. Our Facebook business page is Mopars at the Beach. Our Instagram is Mopars at the Beach. And by this afternoon, I'm going to be an official TikTok member. I haven't done that before, but Bree's going to help me with that one. And my phone number is, if you want to grab a piece of paper and write this down, please, it is 864-325-9660. That's my personal cell. I answer every call. I answer a lot of spam calls because of it. But no matter where it shows up from, I answer because you never know. It showed up China one time, and I went ahead and I thought, I'm going to answer this call. And it was a guy from Florida wanting to know of a hotel last year.
Wonderful.
And I thought that was really weird, but it said China.
Yep, that's the name of the game.
Uh-huh. But we can also, you can private message us through the page. You can send me a private message on my Facebook page, which is Cathy Pearson Bridges. And you'll see my yellow jacket on there, the car. But any way you want to get in contact with me, please do. You can send us a message through the web page also. And I've got a lot of updating to do on that web page. I've been behind with other stuff.
Well, we're close to a break here, and we'll come back with some questions from the audience again. 'Cause you can tell they're interested. They want to know what you're doing. How can we be involved in it? That's the important part. And so I'm just still tickled that you brought a guy along that has a Hellcat. I don't know anybody else that has one.
A 78-year-old man with a Hellcat.
Oh, yeah. That's, how do you spell dangerous?
Oh, yeah.
No, that's a good deal.
That car will scare you.
Yeah.
It scares me.
Well, Mopars are a part of hot rodding life, and everybody knows them, and we'll have fun with this. And, you know, you mentioned a board, new board members. I want to tell everybody that one of the members in her board is one of our audience members that's here every week, nearly every week. That's Mopar Judy. That's how we know her, is Mopar Judy.
I'm sorry, I forgot when I said Mike Clifford was one a little while ago.
And so we'll have her pushing it. Okay, we'll take a break here, and we'll be right back.
The caution flag is out. Time for a break. We'll be right back with the Legends of Racing radio show. Daytona Flea and Farmers Market is still the one for great savings and the best variety. Whether you need flowers and trees for your home or you're looking for great prices on Daytona Beach souvenirs, the market is the place to go. The market features 1,000 booths, 2 air-conditioned malls, a restaurant, and 9 snack shacks. Hops Grill features gourmet burgers and garden blend salads. Treat yourself to a great variety of brat and hot dog creations at the Dog House, or enjoy a refreshing drink at the Seltzer Oasis. The market is open every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and is 90% undercover, so you can shop rain or shine. There's never a charge for parking or admission. Enjoy our monthly classic car cruise-in on the first Saturday of every month, and garage sale weekend, the third weekend of every month. See all we have to offer at DaytonaFleaMarket.com or like us on Facebook. Discover Daytona's most unique shopping experience, the Daytona Flea and Farmers Market, just a mile west of the Speedway. We're back from where it all began, racing's original North Turn Beach Bar and Grill. The Legends of Racing radio show continues with your host, Buzz McKim, and co-host, Rich Combs.
Okay, this is going along pretty quick, and one of the things we want now is we're welcoming Bill Cushion back. Bill's been out. He's a regular guest every week. He's been out, got a new knee. Tells me it's turboed, so I guess he's going to be walking pretty fast. Welcome back, Bill.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be back. And it's not turbo. It's a genuine Ford part, a Formoco part. I actually have 2 questions. One my daughter was going to come up and ask you, but I'll ask you for her. She just retired as 35-year school teacher. Her last day was a week and a half ago. Yeah, she's over
give
there.
Her a hand.
It's not her first trip to the farm here either, but she wanted to know: do you find a lot of difference dealing with the children? And I don't know what grade you taught, or with the children with cars, the difference between boys and toys is the size of their cars. Do you find a lot of difference between that?
You mean between my husband, you're talking, and the younger group? The cars that we have now, I just wish that we could have been able to keep on with the ones when we were younger, but we drove the heck out of those cars. But the kids now, like if they come over, Tommy's car is called the Banshee, and it's like the Irish Spirit. And if you hear the Banshee scream, somebody's going to die, and the kids will come over and look at his show board, and we'll tell them about that. And if they want to sit in the car, I mean, we open the door, they can sit in the car, because these are the kids that are the future. I mean, a lot of us are going to die and croak off sometime, and we need the future generation to be interested in the cars. And we want to get those kids involved with it. And like Joey's daughter, she is 13 or 14. 14, she has her own Mustang, the Fox body. No? Okay. And she has designed her design for it, and Joey has helped her build it, restore it, have it wrapped, and she helps him detail all the time with their business. And so she's really interested in it, and I can't wait for her to meet Mopar Judy, because Judy and I had talked about it so much that this is somebody that, you know, Kay's already putting her car in the shows now. Joey has to drive it there for her, but she's excited about it, and that's what you have to do. You've got to get the kids today interested in it to carry on the tradition, or the car scene will die out. And our modern cars are the future ones. Like we look at like the Superbirds and the old Plymouths and everything, the classics. Now our modern cars are the future classics.
Bill, did you have another question?
Sure, I just had one more question. You know, when I was a kid, my neighbor had a 56 Dodge Coronet, two-door hardtop, and that was my dream car back then, but a lot of money, I couldn't afford that. That's how I became a Ford guy. Do you find that the teenagers today, or as they get a little older and maybe have a little money, are they aimed toward brand new cars, you know, like Hellcats? Or do they kind of wander back and want to buy an antique race car or drag car?
I personally think that now that the Challengers have become more affordable for them, because when they first came out, kids couldn't afford them. But now that they've been around for the last 12, 14 years, then kids are able to have their own now. Sometimes they just don't realize the power that they have, and they do stupid things with them. But I think also, too, unfortunately, a lot of the modern younger kids are more into the imports than they are the actual Mopars, unfortunately. But I don't see many of them going towards the classics, or they didn't in Myrtle. So...
Well, I want to thank you for being here. You're a super sport to come here with this motley crew that we have here. But thank you so much for all you do and all you do for the veterans and all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Bill, that 1956 two-door, that's now being listed as one of the first real muscle cars. Because of the weight of the car and the engine they had in them, they had more power, and everybody's ignored them, and all of a sudden you're bringing it up. So just a note, wished you'd have had it. Okay, that's just an offbeat thing there, but that was a Mopar 1956. Wished I had. Those were the cars that came with, you could get them one color, two colors, or three colors. You pick what you wanted from the factory. And you see a lot of them around, but I hope you have some coming to your meet.
That's one thing about our show, is that we want classics to come.
Yeah.
At Myrtle, it was building up some, but it was very difficult because of the distance to have to travel. But there's also a lot of classic Mopar clubs here, I've discovered.
Good.
A lot more than we had. And we always try to have the same type of awards. We give a Best in Show Modern, we give a Best in Show Classic. And Classic is anything prior to 2000 for us.
Yeah.
And we have the Classics are still eligible for all of the awards, such as paint, interior, and then we have a couple that kind of goes more with modern, like the wraps, best wrap, that type thing. But we try to treat both equally, and we want more Classics to come because that's what we like.
Well, classics are different for each group of people. It's funny what I would think's a classic and you would think's a classic, and younger folks in the audience think, hey, that's that's right, that's modern, that's good stuff. So I don't know how you pick out, but that's the fun of the show. It's the fun of what you're doing. It's why you get a guy come from Germany to fly in and come to your show. Yeah.
And you always want to make sure, or we want to make sure that we get some judges that are able to judge both, because you don't judge a modern car exactly like you do a classic car.
That's something I wanted to touch on. I wanted to touch on volunteers, and we'll do that when we come back.
The caution flag is out. Time for a break. We'll be right back with the Legends of Racing radio show. Welcome to Homewood Suites by Hilton in Daytona Beach. You're right in the middle of all the action. Daytona International Speedway, the airport, One Daytona, Florida's newest entertainment and retail destination, and of course, the world's most famous beach. You'll love our newly remodeled 1 and 2 bedroom suites, along with our popular King Studios. You won't need your full kitchen, as Homewood Suites Daytona serves up complimentary breakfast and evening social. It's like home away from home. Go to HomewoodDaytona.com for Homewood Suites by Hilton in Daytona Beach. We're back from where it all began. Racing's original North Turn Beach Bar and Grill. The Legends of Racing radio show continues with your host Buzz McKim and co-host Rich Combs.
Well, it's good to be back, and I see that we have another longtime member of our audience here, Larry, who's been gone for a couple of weeks or so, and we've missed you. But you have a question, Larry?
Thank you, yes. Actually, Rich, I want to congratulate you on doing a bang-up job. I know it wasn't quite what you expected coming in today, probably, but you've done a hell of a job.
Thank you.
I also want to, I also, Cathy, before I welcome you here, I also want to wish Buzz a speedy recovery. We miss him being here. He's a hell of a guy, and he's a very intelligent person and knows more about racing than most of us. He's forgot more about racing than most of us have ever known. He's very, you can't stump the guy. Anyways, I want to thank you for being here, Cathy. Also, you mentioned that Richard Petty came to your show.
No, his team.
His crew? Okay, my question to you, though, is who is the most unique person maybe that you've run into? I know you've met a lot of people throughout time doing this.
I guess the two most famous ones would be Richard Petty. He signed my car.
Oh.
So.
Wow.
Well,
Petty's
that's
Garage put the shaker on the car for me. Swapped, the shaker hood and the shaker for me, and then Richard signed it. And actually, he signed it twice because it kind of faded, and then we came by up at Randleman one day going up to Virginia to a car show and went by there, and he just happened to be driving up his driveway. And
wow, that's really
like,
neat.
come on, Tommy, Richard, come over here and sign this. Herb McCandless.
There's
Herb McCandless, we're friends with Herb Jr., and then I had met Herb Sr. a few times, and he was actually supposed to be at the show in 2022, but he had his knee replaced, and he didn't make it that year. He had it replaced early summer, but I think it gave him a little trouble or something. But my goal this year, and I don't know how to work it, is I want to have Don Garlitz and Herb McCandless at our show.
Don
Wow,
Garlitz,
yeah.
man,
That
that'd be
would
awesome.
Absolutely.
be awesome.
He has a very cool museum over there in Ocala that I've been to a few times, and he's got Mopars up the butt over there. I mean,
So if
really
anybody
unique
here,
vehicles.
anybody at all listening, anybody here knows him personally or anything, ask him if what it takes to get him to come, and then I'll work on getting Herb McCandless down here.
Very cool.
And that would be awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Larry. Okay, we're running out of time. Did you think it would take an hour to get to this point?
No, I was scared.
Tell me about volunteers. Now, what do you need? I know you need people to come out and help.
Oh yeah, it takes the village, as they say. We need volunteers to help work at the show, even if it's like if you would just volunteer to man one of the barricades blocking the road into the street for an hour. Just stand there so no other cars come in. That would be awesome. If it could be someone that might help sell raffle tickets or sit there at our t-shirt table and help us, help out there, because unfortunately I'm usually the one that's having to go around when somebody, calls me and like, you need to come over here for something or
Sure.
do this or something.
Yep.
And actually last year we had enough volunteers that was the first time I had ever got to walk around and see the entire show and see all the cars at the show. So I need volunteers for that. If there's anybody that would be willing to take our donation request letter, if you know any local businesses around this area, take the letter and ask them for sponsorships or donations or anything. I want anybody and everybody that would be willing to help, because none of us make a salary. We don't get a stipend. We don't have any hotel rooms, restaurants,
Yep.
anything given to us that we keep. We donate it all, and we rely strictly on volunteers. And I always make sure that it's announced well in advance that the only 2 cars that are not eligible to be judged in the show would be mine and Tommy's. Everybody else, no matter how much you help, your cars is eligible, because we always try to get judges that are not partial, and that if they know somebody, then they'll step back and not let the other judges take over. And I try to I've talked to the man that has offered to help with judging or helping me try to find some. We try to have 6 judges so that each judge judges only one portion of the car. One person does all of the wheels, and one does all of the interior, and one does all of the engine bay. That way no one judge can throw the scores in any way. So we want it to be as fair as possible, and I want people who know both modern and modified modern and classic. So.
Well, I hope everyone has heard this call for volunteers.
My phone number again is 864-325-9660. Write that baby down.
You should be selling washing machines on the TV, right? So you've heard the call. If you know anybody, a business that wants to sign up, get their name in the right place. If any of you want to be a part of the show, and that's all our listening audience too. That's not just the folks that are here. And for our listening audience, once again, it's a great day in Ponce Inlet. The restaurant here is wonderful. We got a good crowd. The ocean's beautiful. The sun's out. The wind's blowing. So come in and visit with us. Don't just stay on the other end of the air. Come in and visit. And
Can I tell you one more thing?
one more thing, please.
It's like Chatty Cathy. We also, I forgot to tell you, we give out information on Tuesday for a scavenger hunt that people can work on all week while they're here. And the restaurants or the businesses that donate something to us, we're going to put their name on there. Even if we have 200, that's wonderful. And That way that if they've donated, like a restaurant's donated to gift cards or something, then hopefully the people will stop there, eat, bring their receipt as part of the scavenger hunt or whatever we ask for. So we plan on definitely putting
Let's
the
get the North
here.
Turn on that deal.
Yes,
Absolutely.
definitely.
I'd love to fill this
is
place
such
up.
an iconic place.
I'd love for the parking lot across the street to be full of Mopars. So I'm happy about that. And, you know, we're having a wonderful time. And I think maybe you should probably come back again just before we get ready for the show.
I'd love to.
And renew this. Tell us all the new stuff that's happening. Tell us about some of the cars that are coming, because you're going to know the really good ones that are coming, or the spectacular one.
I know we have Dukes of Hazzard, both the police car and the Charger. They're
well,
already registered.
You got me signed in. I'm here. Dukes of Hazzard.
Yes,
Seen
they're
every
registered.
episode, I'm sure. So thanks again, and thanks to all the people who work here every day or every week and getting this show put on. And I really appreciate everybody showing up. North Turn appreciates you. It's a great place to be here in Ponce Inlet and to have this show available. And I ended a little bit early. You can tell that I'm not a great host on this, but I'm not watching the clock. So now I can say thank you again. We'll see you next week. We'll have another good guest on. And Larry will be back, and Bill, I don't know if he'll be back, and Mike will probably be back.
And moparsatthebeach.org.
Yep. Thank you, Cathy. Thank you very much.
The Legends of Racing radio show originates live from the very spot where beach racing began, racing's original North Turn Beach Bar and Grill. Join us next time for the Legends of Racing radio show with host Buzz McKim and co-host Rich Combs.